Hey everyone, and welcome on this dreadful snowy morning. Oh, it's terrible. But in better news, we're casting the finals of Jaraci Cup 12. And this one really promises to be excellent. Very excited to watch this between A-Game and Descara, of course. Two mainstays of the community. They've been here since the very beginning. I mean, quite literally. And I think pretty much undisputed right now, the best players in the world, so it'll be very fun to watch them play the finals. It's gonna be Soban versus Galzian, so this is pretty interesting. Descara and I were doing some practice beforehand, and he had an interesting game plan in mind that can only be done as Soban because the base runner spawns outside instead of starting in the carrier and then jumping out. Which sounds ridiculous, but apparently that's actually, like, helps his timing be just a little bit faster. And I think he's doing that build on this, game 1 as well here. We'll have to keep our eyes on that. I think the idea is that you're going for an AV rush with the production upgrade done on one base, which is not really something that you could have done in previous versions of the patch, but now that AVs are a little bit cheaper, the timing should work out for it. Let's see what A-Game is up to. He does have a scanner out here, but he retired that base runner, and he's going to be going for ref mode first, bringing this production cruiser out to the front line. 6 salvagers on the main. And Sandskipper Fab gonna start up. This is pretty standard. But keeping a lot of RUs here, and I think the idea is that maybe he wants to go for some tech pretty quickly off of this. We'll keep our eyes on that. He does have a salvager queuing now off of that side. And look, it's just carrier. Well, I see 2 carriers and that's about it, so he's probably happy. I'm so funny. So yeah, we see carrier production upgrade on the way here for Descara. AV Fab's about 5 seconds out. And there's ref mode for A-Game. So we'll have to see what kind of damage this build can do here. You can see that AV module opening up right now, by the way. That's the tell on the Soban carrier for armored tech being finished, and there's the first AV. And production upgrade finishes in about 3 seconds here. And A-Game probably will not have seen this before. This is kind of a sneaky build that Descara has been prepping. But he does have Railgun Fab on the way, and that's going to be a good answer to the AVs, so... but it's only now that he's going to get scouting information, and he might not even yet if he doesn't happen to catch these 2 AVs here. He's going to be looking at the second base. He wants to know if it's SC first. That's kind of the typical thing. And in fact, if he sees it, he can cancel Railgun Fab and then go for a second PC. No, it's not there, so he'll keep that going. And yeah, that's a lot of AVs. I mean, you can see already the idea. Yeah, that's pretty funny. But yeah, this is a lot of AVs right here. But A-Game already has the Railgun tech done. He's making the Assault Railgun already. So I have to keep our eyes on this. Descara probably almost at fleet capacity as well. So now the burden is on him to make this push worth it here. He's not gonna have armor 1, mind you. Actually, already gets a couple shots off on that assault railgun right there, but he's just bunching up the AVs right now. An A-Game with a bit of wreck blocking here, which is unfortunate. It looks like he's gonna take care of that though. Descara can take control of this hill now. AVs are getting hit though, so Descara's gonna back up over the hill. This one takes about half of its health. And follow-up's not here just yet. He might be looking to expand his population before, or pop cap that is, before he can get another support cruiser started. Yeah, and indeed, you can see another armed logistics module being deployed there. So A-Game's feeling the pressure here, but notice the positioning on the assault railguns is really, really good here as he splits them out so that he can, you know, just dislodge Descara from that dune, but he is losing the mining time right now, so Descara's doing a good job of holding down the economy. What's going on the backside here? I think that's a support cruiser being built now. Production tab is bugged as always, but we can guess that that's probably a support cruiser. Oh, and I love this actually. Look at this kind of flank that he's doing with this AV. Would have loved to see the smoke actually deployed on top of these guys, but maybe that actually wouldn't have been good. He's gonna get one assault railgun. That's so many AVs. Still no armor 1, but man, the sheer numbers here is just ridiculous. There's a lot of assault railguns here too, though. He's got 4 of them now. Oh boy. This is really kind of on a knife's edge, because this is very close to, like, catastrophic damage for Descara here. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's quite going to get it, though. These two assault railguns will fall, though. They are actually on the border of the map right now. Well, perhaps this one will survive. What's going on the backside? Sport Cruiser's out now, so Descara is equalizing the eco at least. I don't know, though. It kind of looks like A-Game is still slightly ahead here. He does have the army lead, too. But Descara's gonna pop up to 3 base as fast as he can now. I have to keep our eyes on this. But it's true, you know, with this build, you're not gonna have the money to get armor on the AVs there, which does kind of make the rush a little bit less dangerous than it would have been otherwise. Oh, I like the move. He actually retires that salvager there. Gonna drop an ALM here just to try and keep these salvagers alive, but it looks like he's still gonna lose one. Uh-oh, this is actually quite a lot of damage being done by the skims from A-Game here, and look at that awesome control. Holy goodness. He gets this guy out on 2 HP. I mean, that's pretty unlikely. Gets another salvager too. Oh my goodness. Ah, that's really quite unfortunate for Descara. AVs are still in here, by the way, but not clear what they're going to be able to do here. Looks like the assault railguns will clean this up. A-Game does have to pull the salvagers, though, but he's done more damage on this side. And A-Game manages to find a way to make those early sand skimmers still valuable despite it being an AAV push, so that's really actually pretty good for him. And you can see production cruise is on the way, so he's jumping up to 3 base as well, so both players know that that's the goal here. And yeah, you know, Descara comes out swinging on game 1 with a new build here, but I think that A-Game has actually held it pretty well. I'd say he's ahead here, but we're going to have to watch the 3 base timing. Remember though, this army is still actually pretty dangerous, and he has Railgun Armor 1 with Dart Maneuver coming out. That makes it much, much harder to fight these with AAVs. It's kind of all Descara has got right now, so it's not clear what he's going to do about this. See, he's still building salvagers as far as the production tab says. You never know if that's really accurate, but looks like Fighter and Gunship Tech is going to come out, often a good answer to Railguns, but he's got no defense on this front here. Oh boy. Surely he didn't forget about these railguns. Maybe he just didn't think it would be really a big deal, but I predict bad times in Descara's future here. Yeah, this AV will get chunked down here. Carrier's gonna come and rotate over. Assault railguns can kill a carrier though, make no mistake, but it is, you know, kind of difficult. The big problem though is just that this main base has to be evacuated here. And indeed the support cruiser are coming under fire too, but it doesn't look like A-Game will get that, but logistics module is falling as well. That's pretty annoying. And A-Game is up on 3 base. At this point, I'd say he's quite ahead now. Looks like A-Game is going to actually stick in pretty far here. I'm not sure if I agree with this, because he's kind of going to lose a bit of pressure if this army gets caught, but he is still killing a logistics module. He's trading pretty well, so... Oh gosh. Yeah, I feel like the units lost tab kind of says it all right there. I hesitate to even leave the screen on it. And this support cruiser is likely to fall too. I don't see how he can keep this alive. Descara is really doing what he can. But look at this, missile ships are already done for A-Game. He did actually manage to see the tech, by the way, so he knew that this was on the cards, but still, I mean, that's, you know, that's just even worse, because now, like, his potential answer to the railgun push is already answered by A-Game. Yeah, this is not good. And I feel like this Sandskimmer damage tech here is just, like, such a luxury, you know what I mean? Like, A-Game can just kind of do whatever he wants, you know? Yeah, this is not good. Not gonna call it yet, of course. Descara sometimes pulls out a miracle, but he's gonna need to find one. I mean, this is a really bad spot to be in now. A-Game, by the way, building some base runners too. You love to see it. Actually, this carrier is a little bit damaged, but that's probably not gonna come into play. And a lone strike fighter for Descara gonna come out here, but he finds the missile ship, so he's gonna say, okay, I can't do that. 2 missiles kills the strike fighter. 2 missile ships will kill it in 1 shot then. So yeah, the carrier's having taken a bit of damage. Descara's too. Yeah, both these players just don't care, do they? Yeah, I mean, this strike fighter is the only army for Descara. Well, I guess he's got 3 now, but yeah, I agree he needs railguns, but it's just way too late for that, right? Strike fighters are gonna see what they can do here, but again, missile ships are still in the area. Actually, it's got orders to barrage on the salvagers there too. Looks like the first strike fighter is gonna fall here. Down it goes. He does manage to get 1 assault railgun though, but I don't know. It ain't looking good. I'll just say that. In fact, another support cruiser is coming out too. It's not gonna be too much help here. Strike fighter's gonna die on their return journey, by the way. Looks like one of them manages to dock actually. Oh, this poor guy. He didn't get the memo. Can't they see we're unarmed? Yeah, A-Game's attack here is just relentless. Ah, the direct fire barrage too. He's gonna get away with this as well. Ouch. Whoa, did you see how much damage that did? No, that's Descara choosing to surrender right there. Yeah, man, what a choke signing up for salvage. And A-Game's gonna take game 1 with an excellent hold and an even better follow-up. Descara gonna be scrambling, I suppose, to see what he does for game 2 here. Let's load up that replay. But that's actually gonna take the wind a little bit out of his sail here, because the idea is that when you come out with a build that your opponent doesn't know, you really want to just kill him with this and then make your opponent scramble and answer to it, but that, you know, didn't exactly work, so. By the way, we didn't talk about pick bans yet. Descara grabbed Saban first and A-Game followed with Galzian. This is what we predicted the finals would be. Either this or Con F, because A-Game typically tries to avoid the mirror matchup. I actually thought he would go Con F, but Galzian is pretty similar. And he bans Titan Passage, which I think makes sense. It's just a map that A-Game doesn't like. So, and then Descara banned Canyon Outpost, picked Firebase Krill for game 1. Didn't manage to win on it though, but game 2 is going to be A-Game's pick for Kalash Teeth, and then Torrent Alt will follow. Yeah, that's definitely true. Well, not only that, but railguns really dominate on Titan Passage, and you know, Saban railguns are pretty good, so. But I definitely agree. I mean, it's difficult to fight Titan Passage as Galzian, unless of course you're going for like some kind of cheesy rush build. But I mean, that's not exactly A-Game style. Seems dangerous to say the least. Notice, by the way, this time the tech is a little bit different here. Doesn't have any RU miners right now, so he's gotten ref mode and then flipped these 2 guys over. And that's gonna set his eco up pretty strong here, but it does mean that if he's getting AAV rushed, he might be in some danger. But I like the move, actually. This is pretty clever, because you know that your opponent just tried to AAV rush and didn't really get anything out of it, so I kind of like this. But yes, exactly. I mean, you're sort of cheating the build order here, but like you're not going to get punished for it because it's SC first here. And this is a pretty good read of what Descara will typically do if he doesn't win with the AAV push on game 1. So seeing the probe now, that kind of reveals, yes, that is what's happening. This is SC first from Descara. But still, Sandscammer coming in from A-Game, he's not going insane here, so he does want to make sure his opponent doesn't just show up with a bunch of AAVs and kill him. And yeah, this is really oh, you didn't really consciously choose to, you're just bad. Well, bad is one word for it. I prefer to call it intuition. Intuition, right? ALM is out here for Descara. It's going to be a little bit annoying as he tries to scout the carrier position, but he sees the 2 LAVs coming from here, and that's actually a pretty good tell that the carrier was there. Either way, he has to back out, so not going to risk anything there. And it looks like Assault Ship Fab is going to be the tech choice this time. No second PC though, which is often what you'll see. You decide that your opponent has gone SC first, and you just go straight up to 3 base. But this is a bit more of a proactive choice, and if your opponent does end up pushing with these LAVs, you'll have a good answer to it. I guess my eyes are on Descara, though, to see if he jumps up onto 3 base now. Nice control by A-Game, by the way. Doesn't lose the skims, gets a little bit of damage on the LAVs, but you do still expect the Coalition player will push over the hill here. Seems really. You've only missed game 1. So scoreline is 1-0 for A-Game. And hello. Skim right here, just gonna hop over the dune. A little bit of damage will be done here as well. This is okay for A-Game. Currently, Descara with the double production line does actually outproduce him here, but once the soul chips are done, he's got a nice answer to the LAV threat. And you can see he's got a lot of money banked up. Yeah, so exactly. He'll go straight into armor 1 here. Doesn't need to worry about this too much. And as for Descara, it doesn't look like he's jumped up onto 3 base just yet, although he's building salvagers right now. We'll keep our eyes on that though. Yes, sadly enough. I got to level 3 actually, which was pretty cool, but then I died. So that was too bad. Ooh. I always like this move. You pop a base runner out here and then try and kill off the probe. It's always nice to see. First off, that guards for air tech, right? Maybe he can, you know, go for air and his opponent won't see it. But it also says, you know, hey, you're not going to see my 3 base timing. Descara is going to be hidden too, though. He does have that support cruiser done. There's a couple salvagers here as well. Actually, a couple. They're in the exact same spot, but that's 2 salvagers, if you didn't know. It's kind of raunchy. But anyway, so he's setting up his 3 base. A-Game's going to be on it as well. But Descara will be a little bit faster. A-Game has the tech lead though, we'll see what he's able to do with it. AV Fab is coming out for Descara, so that's going to be a kind of a closing window. Oh look, it's cookies. Oh, I like this though, with the 2 ALMs here. He can actually kill off this assault chip just with these LAVs. Yeah, and he is going to get the kill there. So that's pretty nice for Descara. Artifact comes out for A-Game. Oh, these sand skimmers I think are kind of in danger. I mean, there's a bit of a surround because the assault chips are here, but I think the LAVs can just cut through. There's no upgrades on anybody. It's about even numbers here as well. This base runner is gonna guard the scanner. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, here we have 3 base getting set up for A-Game finally. It is, again, though, going to be pretty late here. And he starts Missile Ship Fab 2. He really wants to scout the carrier if he can, because you don't want to have this tech going unless, your opponent is actually getting air. So yeah, he's going to see the carrier now, and I expect to see him cancel that. Ooh, I expect. Uh-oh, he's actually going to finish Missile Ship Tech. So that's a little bit unfortunate for him. And assault ship goes down on this side too. I think that he killed a salvager over there though. But these LAVs are actually, or sand skimmers are actually a little bit hemmed in, but I think they should be able to get out. Still though, assault ships dying on that flank is a little unfortunate. It's good to see A-Game take some initiative here though. He's bringing the fight out to Descara. AVs are gonna hold the flank though. And I'd say it's kind of an even game state, except you gotta watch out for these LAVs pushing on this side. But yeah, it looks like A-Game does have some defense for that. Can he get this base runner out? I think so. But it's not actually clear. With the assault chip and the skims in tow, plus the base runner heal, he might be able to actually fight this, even though he's down the numbers here. It's armor 1 for both players, but that matters more for Descara, of course. He has more of those units. Let's see what's happening on the other side. Bit of wreck blocking here, but I still think that A-Game is going to win that. Yeah, and there's the base runner heal, alright, he gets the extraction out. Looks like one assault ship did go down here, but A-Game's going to be really happy on this flank. He kills quite a lot of LAVs there. This army here will fall for sure, but he got the artifact out, which is what he was looking at, I believe. And actually he got a tech for the missile ships too, I noticed. I think he got the direct fire barrage. Yeah, he did. That's kind of an interesting call because you can still use it against ground units in that case, but you'd have to build them, and If you know your opponent doesn't have air tech, I think investing more into the missile ships is definitely a mistake. We'll see though. He's actually got quite a lot of power afforded to him, so I would suspect that these AAVs can't really do anything on this flank here. They do have armor too though, just finishing now. But still, this carrier is pretty powered up. I think that he'll be able to hold this off. Meanwhile, siege cruiser tech going to be the choice for him. And Descara does have assault cruiser tech finished as well. Check the production tab here. Well, not much information to be gleaned from there. Although I do see A-Game is building missile ships, so. Are there hotkeys for these? I can't remember. No. That'd be nice if there were hotkeys here. Actually, let's check the units lost tab as well. Whoa. A-Game's lost a lot more money. That's kind of surprising. That's true, though. Missile ships do deny probes. But the thing is, like, there's actually a potential build to counter mass AC that I've experimented with a couple times before and had pretty good success, where you go for, like, mass missile ship and siege, which sounds really dumb, but it actually works pretty well. Because not only you have the EMP, which can lock them down so that you can direct fire barrage them, but the missile ships are really pretty tanky, so... You know, they act as a pretty nice front line for the siege cruisers, but... That'd be quite a read if A-Game was planning that, though. I mean, I don't think that's the game plan here. We're probably just moving into kind of like the siege late game on College Teeth, which we're all very familiar with. And I expect to see EMP Shell come out pretty soon, but he might go for range upgrade first. That one is pretty good. Right now, though, he definitely needs to worry about fleet capacity more than anything else. And armor 3 is done for A-Game. Only armor 2 for Descara. But still, he has the numbers on this flank. But there's a missile ship here, so keep your eyes on that. A lot of skims in tow, and these actually can put down some damage, but when armor starts to come out on the AAVs, it's going to be a lot less impactful if they haven't been upgraded, which they have not. So neither player, in fact, investing in any upgrades for those units. Here comes the assault cruiser, though. Barrage is already down, so A-Game probably has to vacate this location. Plus, there's a base runner here, and that targeting jammer can actually be a big deal against these rather slow units here. Yeah, that's true. I mean, you're not usually gonna like mass missile ship like that, but I've done it before. I mean, it actually can work. Here comes the siege cruiser, by the way. Now this needs to be the answer to the AC, so yeah, he's gonna go for EMP shell right away. I think that's wise because range upgrade is not gonna help too much here. A couple of AVs trying on this flank as well here. Note the assault cruiser in tow, but A-Game has the carrier on this side, so he might be able to fight this. That's a lot of skims. I mean, at this point, maybe it's good to get rating, but, you know, actually the time for tech is kind of a big resource right now. Like, you can't afford to just tech whatever you like, because you need to be keeping that queue clean, basically. Here's that first fight. There's a barrage coming out now for A-Game. Just keep this missile ship safe, though. This is actually kind of integral to the game plan here. Uh-oh. Should get a barrage off right before it dies. Nah, he can't actually manage to do that. Here comes the EMP. Is this going to land, though? Yes, it's a direct hit, actually. Wow, and that's going to kill the AC. With that dead, this fight is probably winnable, but holy goodness, these skins all died. Looks like A-Game's attention was about where mine was, too. Yeah, A-Game's correct about his prediction there. But still, he gets the AC. He's going to get all of these assault ships, or these AAVs, that is, as well. Maybe this is okay. I'd say a big blow traded from both of them. Missile ship rush. Oh, been a long time since I thought about that. Oh, I gotta try that again. I mean, not like it's actually a good build. It's terrible, but you know, if it works, it's very funny. So there's actually 2 support cruisers, by the way, on this flank here. And I'm kind of expecting A-Game to go into rails, but maybe he won't. After all, it is College Teeth. You kind of want to avoid railguns if you can on this map, generally speaking, because Descara is gonna have. Oh, he already has artillery tech done. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, though. He's gonna get artillery tech eventually. And railguns feel like they kind of naturally get countered by that. More like joke patch. Looks like a small 2D house. Yeah, I guess that's true, isn't it? Yeah. This fight here, by the way, one that Descara will definitely win, even with some kind of nice smoke micro. Although he does need to watch out for the carrier here. And this is no carrier throw. Well, I mean, actually, he's pushing into Fog of War, which always makes me a little nervous, but as it turns out, there's nobody here that's gonna kill him. Still gonna take some damage to the attack missile barrage, but standing still lands the EMP on him there, so that's pretty good actually. There's a bit of self-barrage going on here, but it's fine. He's gonna kill off this AC, and then this carrier can just heal up later. I like the power slide in there as well. And power 2 teching from A-Game now. Wow, that's a lot of assault ships over here. The missile ship doesn't have barrage though. Again, this can be kind of crucial here, but A-Game's bringing some more assault ships over as well. And I don't think that this AC can really fight this. It did have the overcharge on, but it's not gonna be enough to win that fight for him. Here's the artillery finally for Descara. Now, anytime that siege barrages, artillery can precision barrage, but the danger is getting hit by EMP, and you can see that A-Game nearly lands that there. This artillery cruiser might go down anyway. Oh, it does! That's actually really big for A-Game. He's not going to kill this AC. Oh wait, this is the AC that was taking damage. Oh, maybe he will. It has its heal available, it has its overcharge available. It's on the support cruiser, and maybe this thing can get out, but this is looking dangerous now. Missile ship barrage lands on the AVs as well. Wow, it's kind of hard to keep track of all of the action here. This is an awesome game, as it turns out. AC is using the overcharge here, I think. But yeah, it's gonna go down to these assault ships, I believe. There's just no keeping this thing alive. Too many assault ships from A-Game. This is not easy to fight, assault ships versus AC, but he's doing it. Artillery's here though, but still this third base has to be evacuated, and that's a serious blow that A-Game is landing here. He does have railgun fab done now as well, so heavy railguns are starting to come out across the field. And also, so crucially, he keeps a lot of this army alive, so not only he lands this blow, but he doesn't lose everything for it like he might have. And, you know, that's a big deal. Probe here just gonna make sure he can finish off these two assault ships, although I love the idea for A-Game, just kind of hiding up in the hill there. That's a really fun plan, because, you know, if your opponent forgets about it, oh, look at this, he's actually gonna forget about it. You might be able to actually do some damage with those things, even though they're sort of trapped in there. It might come down to kind of a climactic carrier fight here, though, but A-Game has a lot more power. Still, though, he's taking a lot of damage on this carrier now. It has to kind of back away from here. There's no railgun fab done for Descara. And yeah, look, the assault ships do manage to get 2 kills on the salvagers there. Rails, the natural counter to artillery. It's true, I mean, railguns are not going to do very well against artillery, but they are going to stop the ACs from pushing in, and I think that's the real point here. Is like, railguns are useful, but you don't want to build too many of them, because the artillery does sort of naturally counter it. But see, here's the railguns getting some really good usefulness. EMP kind of goes a little bit wide there. Now then they need to be careful though. Uh-oh, they're gonna start taking some damage here. I like this ALM too, actually. That's gonna sort of guarantee one of the railgun kills here. Well, guarantee is a funny word. It might not actually. The siege cruiser needs to be careful though. Small little flank coming out on this side too, but this probably won't get too much done. There's a lot of ALMs here. Of course, new version of Jaraci patch, this main base does not mine out very quickly at all, so it's still definitely a valuable target to hit. Oh, that's a juicy barrage. Holy moly, he's getting like 3 railguns and a siege cruiser right there. Ouch. That is pretty good. At this point, like, A-Game needs to, yeah, counter barrage, just like that. See what he can do on the backside. Yeah, it looks like he's gonna strike back as well. Gets an artillery cruiser, might even get 2 here. It doesn't look like that barrage is gonna land quite. There's just things blowing up everywhere. Say what you will about Call of Duty, they make some pretty good replays, even if it's frustrating to play. But again, I think the story of this game is still just that A-Game owns the middle section, you know, and that's where you want to be, even if both players are trading damage like this. And they really are. I mean, look at the units lost tab, dead even right there. Descara's carrier is starting to get really powered up, by the way, but A-Game is hitting power 5 now. It looks like Descara this time going for flank to try and break the control that A-Game has over here. Although I see a cruiser going down on that side. Not sure what kind it was. Artifact is going to extract here, just barely. This flank here is definitely weakened a bit by the fact that these two railguns are slapping the assault cruisers here. But I don't think that that's going to be enough to hold it on their own. Yeah, Descara agrees. He's going to come up here with this assault cruiser. He's really kind of folding on this side though, although he may lose the siege cruiser here. Down goes one of the ACs actually, so it looks like Descara is not actually able to kill those railguns there. This AC is still alive, but it's so low on health, it's pretty easily going to be countered, I think, by just a couple of assault ships here. Carrier, meanwhile, for A-Game, so powered up, is driving up into the front line here. That's a really nice targeting jammer, but it's just going to delay. It's not really going to get too much done. And the missile barrage is ready, too, so I feel like A-Game is readying a crippling blow. I do see railguns for Descara out, though. And this assault cruiser is still alive, actually. So the carrier is starting to get hit here, but I think that once A-Game pulls the trigger, he can just step over this whole army here with the missile barrage. I'm not really sure what he's waiting for here. Did he kill that AC? Yeah, he did get that. This flank here is going to fall for Descara too then. But the microwave emitter, it looks like Descara's gotten to the nuke too. I didn't see this coming. And it's kind of a direct hit here on these siege cruisers. Here's the missile barrage though. Honestly, these things are gonna die. I think it'd be better if he just barraged with them, but... Well, actually, they survive. I take it all back. A-Game knows this better than me, it seems. I like this ALM being deployed here, by the way. He sees the location of this barrage, which is actually trying to precision barrage on the base runner to kill it, but Descara could definitely finish this off with the siege cruisers now. Where are these landing? Looks like these are just all on the carrier here. And Descara sees the writing on the wall, he's gonna choose to GG. Another sick game, that one. And A-Game is gonna take it, bring the scoreline 2-0 here as he moves on to the next map. Yeah, like I said, it might be a bit frustrating to play College Teeth, but it sure makes some good replays. That was pretty fun to watch. Just things blowing up everywhere. I mean, just look at the field here. But again, all of the corpses are over here. Like, look how much has happened on this side. Like, nothing, right? And I think that's really the story of this game, is that A-Game was just holding his opponent here the entire time. And that's where you want to be on College Teeth. That's really where you need to be. So, really well played by him with those assault ships. I'm enjoying this so far. But A-Game definitely coming out with the lead here. We jump now onto Tauren Crater, which is A-Game's pick. The next maps would be Kartova, picked by Descara. That's a really good Sawan map, you know. And then A-Game picks the Boneyard. And the Boneyard is a map that I think both of these players are really, really comfortable with. Descara grabs GT Alt, and then Shallows will be the last map. And I hope we get to an ace match. That'd be pretty sick. Feeling confident? Time to throw. Yeah, exactly. That's what I would do. That's what I did do, if you recall my series against Descara. One thing I like about this map, by the way, it's got a bit of flavor to it, because, well, first off, you know, we made the new, or A-Game that is, made the new Tauren Crater because it was just so easy to rush your opponent with the setup on these dunes when this was the main base. But he didn't just move the bases, he also, you know, he set one base on one side of the carrier and the other base on the other side. I feel like it gives the map kind of a unique flavor, so I'm really quite a fan of that. Descara, by the way, not going with his special build again. He's just gonna go ahead with SC first, and that makes sense. On the old Tauren Crater, this is a really, really good rush map, but this one not so much. The rush distance has always been pretty long, and now that the terrain isn't super favorable to the rush, I think it's usually a good idea to go eco here. How does one rotate the carrier? So if you use the V move command, which I can't really demonstrate very well because I'm in the replay, but you see the green circle around the carrier here? hit V on the center of the carrier and then drag it outside of the circle, and then that'll rotate the carrier. The problem is that if you do V and then move it like this, it'll just move the carrier to this location, which I don't really know why. It's just kind of some weird idiosyncrasy with the control system. By the way, probe gonna get killed? Yes, it would. What? Wow, that's the luckiest probe I've ever seen. That's crazy. That's pretty good for Descara. He retired his base runner, of course. He doesn't really feel like he's gonna get rushed here. Oh, but that's actually not true. This is 2 PC from A-Game. Wow. Okay, you know, I was literally the caster, and yet I didn't manage to catch this. Probably it looks like to Descara that he's been shot at by this PC, but actually that's the second PC. This is the original one. This probe is gonna see that something is up though, because I think ref mode ought to be done by now. So what's the game plan for A-Game? He doesn't have any RU income at all here, but he does have enough to get Assault Ship Fab if he wants it. This is a lot of skims though. Yeah, I think Descara is starting to snuff this out, because he's, okay, where is this PC? He's gonna check the carrier, it's not there either. And yeah, now he'll know the bit here. So AV Fab is on the way, but it got queued a little bit earlier, so you can see Descara was thinking about it. LAV sees the other PC here, so now he knows what's going on. And again, this is kind of an interesting build, going 2 PC like this. We don't usually see it in Jaraci patch. I don't like this pullback from the skims though. He really needs to be up here attacking. Oh dear, I don't know where he's going with all these skims. You really don't need to worry about this LAV at all. And this window is going to start closing, because when the AVs come out, it'll be very, very hard to finish this attack. Still though, these ALMs are kind of free for the taking, so I like that A-Game's going for this. He will finish it, right? Yeah, okay, jeez. Kind of, yeah, but again, these skims are still just kind of derping out on the backside here. But yeah, I think that you're correct. Like, you stop producing, you get ref mode, and then you jump back up onto 3. And I think that's really kind of the key when you go 2 PC like this. Is to leverage the fact that you could go back onto 3... How did this guy live? Leverage the fact that you could go back onto 3 base to get some big gains here. AVs are out though, so the window is kind of closing now. And money for ref mode is still not even close, because he doesn't have any RU miners. Here we go, he's going back onto it now. Still though, this won't show up in the unit slots tab, but A-Game has killed, I think, 3 ALMs so far, maybe just 2. So he has gotten value out of the skims, but Descara is on 2 base, so the question is not really has he gotten value, but has he gotten enough value? I think, like, this might sound insane, but at this point he might want to just, like, flip to a railgun rush or something, because he needs to get tech to defend against the AAV counter push, and he needs to get ref mode. That's just too much RUs. I don't think he can really do it. This doesn't feel very good. But railgun tech is already coming out for Descara, so I think he knows that that's kind of on the cards, so he's gonna be preempting that. Now, this number of AAVs can't just, you know, with impunity fight... What is it? 22 sand skimmers? Holy goodness. So, I mean, actually, maybe A-Game is fine to just go ref mode here, because he can fight off these AAVs, but that's a ridiculous number of sand skimmers, though. I wasn't expecting to see quite that many. Problem is, again, Descara jumping up on a 3 base, and it looks like actually he's going to cancel Railgun Fab and start Fighter and Gunship. I think that's a response to seeing the PC back here as it killed off the probe. Again, that probe that didn't die in the early game, actually giving some pretty big value here. And yeah, I think the skims ought to chase here. Well, it looks like A-Game's going to choose not to, though. He kind of loses 2 for free then. He can kill these here, so I would have liked to see that. Production upgrade coming up for Descara also. I think that's the first production upgrade. Yeah, that is just so many sand skimmers. And ref mode is done for A-Game, but he doesn't have any salvagers yet, so it's gonna take some significant time to build up the eco here. Has to watch out for the air transition. And it's tough, he doesn't really have any scouting potential here, but he can get missile ship fab if he does it blind. It's just, that's not really something that you often do. It worked for him last game, though. Now it's 19 sand skimmers, I believe, yeah. Because 2 died and 1 went out to scout. Oh boy, and Descara's going straight into the attack bombers here. Actually, that's a really intelligent choice, because even if your opponent gets the blind missile ships, he's probably not going to have an answer to that. Yeah, that's kind of evil. Notice the gunship too. I mean, when your opponent has this many sand skimmers, it just seems like a good idea. There is armor 1 for these things, so they're not going to die as quickly as normal, but they're still going to die pretty fast to a gunship. Yeah, I like this a lot. I think that this is a very, very intelligent choice from Descara. We do have some assault railguns being built too. Helps against the AAVs. Like I said, he has to answer the potential AAV counter push. But that's the thing, you know, Descara's got him in a situation where it kind of feels like he has to answer too many things. Like, the air threat is real too. He could even be coming in with the carrier and with railguns at this point. Like, you know, there's a lot of potential danger here, so... And no, it doesn't stack, so you only want to use 1 if you're hitting 1 target. That's a good question. A lot of people don't seem to know that. I didn't used to know that, so... Gunship is done. It's actually in the air, in fact. 2 bombers on the queue as well. Really doesn't want to reveal the gunship to this skim, though, so yeah, he's gonna keep this one hidden. A-Game sniffs something happening, though. He's got missile ship tech on the way. He's gonna get the confirmation in just a moment. Yep, that's air. Yeah, he might have seen the gunship, but he definitely saw air tech just then. Yeah, that sub-on railgun ability is actually really, really impactful when you get higher levels of, like, or higher numbers of railguns. It's definitely something that people ought to be aware of, especially during a carrier fight. Like, that 25% damage boost can be huge, you know, so... Because you're losing 1 railgun for it, right? Let's say you've got, like... Oh yeah, it is 26%, isn't it? I think that's a little goofy, but, you know... Oh well. If you've got like 10 railguns, let's say, you know, you're boosting the damage of 9 of them by 25%. It's definitely better than not having it on. Uh-oh. That's a lot of damage. This attack bomber here is gonna definitely finish off the PC. In fact, the splash... No, it doesn't look like it killed the salvagers, but... Oh, but it killed the missile ship as it was coming out, too. That's just insult to injury right there. Ouch. Gunship is going to start spraying here as well. Just wants to see if he can kill off these salvagers here. Not really sure about backing up right there. Maybe he just figures that the strike fighters can finish the kills now. There is a missile ship done, finally. There's 2 base runners too. Oh wait, there's actually 2 missile ships here. But you can see A-Game knows that this attack is coming. It's just so hard to deal with it. Like, the triple bombers just killing a PC, it's just so difficult to punish that. And maybe he needs to go into, like, assault ship fab into interceptors. That just takes forever. This is a bad situation to be in. Now Descara even starts to look to extract the artifacts. If I were A-Game, I would try and yoink this one here just so that your opponent can't take it. The bombers are launching again, though, and who knows where they'll strike now. This PC looks vulnerable. This PC is probably well defended with the 2 missile ships, but there is grave danger in the future here for A-Game. These things are pretty cool looking. Yeah, this is the grand finale. Why did I say it like that? But you get what I'm saying. What the heck? Oh, I know what he's doing here. Okay, so he's actually trying to, like... He's trying to eat the missile ships with the probes. This isn't terribly well executed, but it's a cool idea anyway. Because if the missile ships fire their shot against the probes, then you can just kind of drive in and, with the bombers with impunity. He does manage to kill the PC there, although he is going to lose 1. He's gonna lose 2. But this one should escape here. You can decide if that's worth it. It's a funny idea, though, sending the probes in. I wish that had worked. That would have been really cool. I think he sent the probes in a little bit too early, but... Again, though, like, look, he manages to kill the bombers, does A-Game, but still, he loses a PC for it. And this is, you know, this is very reminiscent to the match that I played with Descara. It's hard to deal with this. It's like, you know, it's not clear what the answer is going to be. Because if he goes into interceptors, that's just gonna take forever. So I don't know if he can really do that. I think that radar-guided missiles would help a little bit, but only a little bit. Oh, and this gunship here is looking juicy. There's actually 2 of them. The answer to this is GG. Well, I mean, you're not wrong. That's the thing. Like, this is a bad place to be. Oh, I love the targeting jammer there, too. Just insult to injury right there. He even self-barrages to kill the targeting jammer, but it doesn't die. Oh, gosh. This is horrifying. Does he? Well, he's got a couple of RUs in the bank, I guess, but... Yeah, well, DOK is a really inventive game that way. I mean, I always have thought, if we could really have, like, a proper pro circuit for this game, like, it looks so much different than it does today, because... If we actually had good unit control, which I'm not holding any punches, we don't. I mean, we're all pretty bad at this game, I think. It'd look really different. It'd look really different. Pretty okay barrage there, managed to kill an LAB. Still taking pot shots at it, though. Yeah, I think really radar guided would be pretty good here, though. Of course, this goes against the advice you'd give in vanilla, where the radar guided upgrade literally does nothing except for make the missile ship worse when it has veterancy, but this ain't vanilla, so... Railguns are in tow here, though. This is going to be very, very difficult for A-Game to fight with the assault railguns here. There is some kind of fortunate dune positioning for him, but... Yeah, this is not very easy to fight. And actually the gunship, or is that a bomber? Yeah, it is. It's just kind of giving some vision for the railguns to hit. Gonna back away now, though. Doesn't want to take too many shots from the missile ships if you can avoid it. And heavy railguns starting to come out for A-Game, but it's gonna be desperate because that air power is still such a big deal here. Looks like he's actually just gonna kill off this missile ship as well. Might as well just thin out the anti-air assets while he can. And A-Game is at fleet capacity now. But even still, he can't spare the money to go into assault ship fab and then interceptors because he's got to, you know, he's got to keep his like upgrades going if he's gonna be able to win this railgun fight. So it's just it's too hard to get the interceptors out. And yeah, I do like that, the extra PC because you know you're gonna lose one eventually. Uh-oh, this heavy railgun didn't get the memo. 3 missile ships here, maybe there's like a miracle barrage that can come out, but it's not going to be likely against someone of Descara's caliber. There's only like 1 heavy railgun here at all right now. Oh wow, look at that unit's lost tab. But, okay, I mean, miracles happen. He's got the skims up in the backline here. No rating or damage though, what's the armor like for... Oh, he's got armor 3, Descara does. Attempt at a base runner extraction, by the way, but that's going to be thwarted. Still, though, A-Game will probably be able to deny this one. This is an interesting positioning of these 2 missile ships, too, by the way. Oh, actually, this is perfect because they're screening for the sand skimmers. Wow. Well, that's pretty interesting, actually. Oh gosh, this carrier cannot be here, though. This is just straight up death. He needs to bring the skims back or something. Oh man, there's a couple of railguns here. Oh my gosh, yeah, this thing is just gonna melt. I don't think this is even with marked target on, let alone, you know, how much damage that would be. Ow! It was actually this AV, I think, that got the killing shot there. So, this game brought to you by the Greeks. Get it? Well, that's kind of surprising. Look at the units lost tab, 26,000. Anyway, Not like that was a huge throw though. I feel like A-Game was really definitely kind of in the bed already at this point. Let's jump into game 4 then. Descara will be happy to take that one. A-Game trying some special tactics, but he didn't manage to find too much success with it. And now we'll jump on to Kartova. Now this one is, I want to see huge throws? Yes. You know, make me proud. This map here, it's Descara's pick. It's very, very good for Saban in sort of a late game situation because, well, you know, it's a great railgun map. You can just look at it. If I can turn the camera the right direction. Large, you know, huge tracts of land. If you get the reference there. And, you know, Saban is usually pretty happy when there's big open spaces like this. This is a very fun map, though, because of the Kartova, which, by the way, would it be so cool if you could drive on top of this? But, what's interesting about this map is that, you know, you can really flank your opponent hard on it, and there's so much air over here that we tend to get kind of focused on this area over here, and then a backstab will come and just change everything, so pretty fun to see. I think this map really favors the guy who's got the better macro understanding. And you decide who that is this series. It seems like it's been pretty up in the air. For Descara, it's SC first once again. Again with the base runner retired here. He seems to have really dropped the idea of this AAV rush that he was... I mean, again, he picked Saban like for that, I believe. But perhaps we will see that again on Galzian territories, which would be map 6 if we get there. Just remains to be seen. And a reminder, the scoreline right now is 1-2 for Descara, so he is trailing by 1 map. Why'd you pick Saban? Well, he's got this interesting idea. When you play Coalition, the base runner starts inside of the carrier and then jumps out. But when you play Saban, the base runner starts outside of the carrier. And so you can retire it a little bit faster than normal. Which sounds ridiculous, but in practice games with him, he was able to get the timing for the AV rush down by like 10 seconds or something. So, yeah, it seems ridiculous, but apparently it actually is a pretty big deal. I'm gonna have to make a video on it, but I really need to make videos on those build orders like I used to do. Now that Jaraci patch is pretty stable, actually. A-Game was saying just the other day he didn't really have many ideas for what he was going to change in Jaraci patch for the next update. So I mean that's already a pretty good sign. I wonder if he feels that now that we've seen most of the tournament, but I think it's in a good place. A-Game, by the way, queuing up another PC. He sees that it's SC first because of the probe, I think, but he will want to verify that. But yeah, going PC before tech, this is usually a pretty nice idea if you can get away with it. It means that your economy will be very strong. The only problem is that you might get it killed by a rush, but again, here's the carrier, so this is SC first. Not too worried about that. As I said, the late game scenario is actually really not bad at all for Saban on this map. But both of these players are comfortable playing sort of a standard game, so I don't think that A-Game's really getting me too worried about it. Production upgrade is done, by the way. A-Game literally just mentioned that. So, LAVs are still going to be coming out here, but when he has the 2 PCs, I don't think it's a huge issue if you just keep building sand skimmers. Yeah, he does need to build sand skimmers, though, but... Galzian with 2 PCs will outdo Saban or Coalition with the 1 production line. Or the 2 production lines, that is. And Descara, by the way, making another support cruiser. Yeah, but Descara is trading really well here. I mean, this is a map where LAVs are pretty nice, too. Uh-oh. Yeah, A-Game just can't finish any of these kills here. The LAV count is starting to balloon just a little bit too much. Oh dear, this is starting to look pretty bad. He needs to kind of bail out now, I think. Oh, the wreck block is real too. Oh gosh. Suddenly this looks pretty dire. Okay, here we go. He's finally bailing out, pulling this PC out towards the carrier. Bit of high ground will go a long way here, though. He's thinning the numbers at least, but Descara is getting a lot of value out of this. I'd be surprised if Fighter and Gunship doesn't start up almost immediately here. Looks like he is finally going to kill off the rest of these marauding LAVs. But yeah, Descara is traded pretty well, and that gets him up onto 3 base. Well, actually a little bit slower, I suppose, but he's got them more saturated, I believe, than A-Game does. Let me check the number of salvagers here. Well, that's 12, and that's 13. Well, okay, I guess it's actually a lot more even than it looked. I don't know, there was a moment there where that looked like A-Game was about to just lose the whole game right there, but there weren't any more LAVs coming in, so A-Game had the defender's advantage, but there we go, that's Fighter and Gunship. That's what I was expecting, and this is the really strong follow-up to this kind of containment style. Oh, wait a minute, was that an ALM going down there, actually? Yeah. Well, that actually does mean quite a bit, then. A-Game is going to see the 3 base here. You can actually count the pile to see like how much mining has been done there. So yeah, A-Game is a little bit ahead on his 3 base. That's another strategy which I think a lot of people could benefit from adopting, that is. And Interceptor Tech going to come out from A-Game now. He does have Assault Chips done too. And might even be nice to throw in 1 or 2 of those. There is, of course, a lot of LAV out on the field here. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, though. I feel like we haven't actually seen this in a little while, so... Note the flank, by the way. This is pretty good for Descara. Again, this is why I think throwing in a couple of Assault Chips is nice. But it looks like Descara is gonna blink first here. I've got the hiccups, as is traditional. Base Runner gonna grab the artifact for A-Game as well. Wants to extract this here. But again, we have a gunship on the way. Once more, I think this is a great choice because your opponent has so many sand skimmers, right? Not quite as many as last game, mind you, but the gunship really just pinches the sand skimmers out in the midfield so much. It's like, you can't just do whatever you want with them anymore, which you used to be able to, so... By the way, this is another production line finished. He's actually building all 3 of these at the same time. Here's the flank for Descara as well. If this artifact comes out timely-wise, it's not really going to, but he might be able to use a bit of that power to help on the defense here. At any rate, the base runner is here to use its heal ability. But a bit of mining time denied. That's pretty nice for A-Game. Or, sorry, for Descara. And now he's going to launch the gunship here. He doesn't really have anything in the way of ground defense, though, except for these ALMs. And the gunship really wants to be hitting the blob. Uh-oh, oh, this is actually terrible. Oh no, gunship, what are you doing? Oh gosh, the Spore Cruiser is gonna go down. Oh dear, this is not exactly the best gunship play we've seen. Still though, we're gonna have a lot of losses from the sand skimmers because that second gunship is launching now. Here it comes. Oh, but there's interceptors already. Oh. Interceptors will kill a gunship pretty decently quickly. You can see 1 volley, it's already almost dead here. Strike Fighters are going to start fighting too now, but the the LAVs are here too. They get a kill on one of the interceptors. Strike Fighter goes down though, I see. This one here is getting low too. Would be nice if you could dock this. And I feel like A-Game kind of got away with that. I mean, look, he killed the Spore Cruiser and he lost sand skimmers for sure, but not that many. Units Lost tab says he's slightly behind, but of course you've got to factor in the mining time that's being denied here. That's a big deal. That's a really big deal, actually. AV tech coming out for Descara. This is probably going to go into missile batteries. He wants to have some ground-based anti-air to help fight this air war, especially because Galzian tends to win that. Just because the interceptors are very, very good at anti-air. And A-Game's going to do the same. He's getting missile ship fab set up. This is a little bit risky for A-Game, but I think he's just counting that, you know, his sand skimmers can win this fight, so he wants to send him in there. But actually, well, no, A-Game has a slight upgrade lead here, I believe. Interceptors are in the area, but they're actually still targeting the LAVs, so the gunships are kind of getting away with this right now. Are the strike fighters here too? Yeah, they are, but they're not really being... Well, they're not even needing to be used. The interceptors have to dock now, and these sand skimmers are getting stuck really far in. Oh gosh. This doesn't look good. The gunships are still here, although they might be out of ammo. Yeah, this really is a lot of ALMs. Descara is falling to the ways of ALM spam. The big prize here for A-Game would be if you can extract these 2 artifacts, but I'm not sure if you can. There's a couple of AVs out here too, which is kind of nice. Missile battery fab just now starting for Descara. A-Game doesn't have any missile ships out yet either, though. These AVs are going to start chunking. And it's not super easy to answer this. Descara even has armor 1 done. He's starting armor 2. But A-Game finishing armor 2 right now. Assault ship is going to fall though. But here come the interceptors, and this is where A-Game can get some good value out of the air because the strike fighters haven't launched yet. They're starting to launch now though. Second artifact will extract though, and A-Game is going to get those out. And that brings the scoreline 3-0, which is pretty good for him. Does manage to pick off an interceptor over here though. And the interceptors for A-Game want to punish that, but they're just too far away here. He does have Afterburner, of course, but still, it takes a little while to get to where he's going. And he has to be careful not to, use any missiles against the AVs, because at that moment the strike fighters will show up and start killing people, so... It's always a difficult fight. This takes a lot of very, very fine control, I think, from both players. Missile battery fab is done here for Descara, but we haven't actually seen any just yet. Oh, I take it all back. He's got one here. And he's starting to tech to the mobility upgrade too, which is always nice to see. Again, though, A-Game has a lot more power for having the 3 artifacts out. Still no other tech being taken by these players, except I did see Railgun Fab coming out for Descara. Uh-oh, it's a pretty good fight for A-Game here. He just managed to pick off a strike fighter for free. It's always nice when you can get that. And the interceptor count is 5 here as well to the only 2 strike fighters for Descara, so... Makes it a little bit difficult for him to fight an air war here. The missile batteries are just not up at that front line, which is tough. I actually kind of feel like, Descara could use more LAV here because, they give, like, a little bit of anti-air, and they also just can position a little bit faster, and the interceptors really can't hurt them very much. It's gonna be nice when he starts encountering these railguns, but he does have railgun fab of his own, so perhaps that's the game plan here. Again, still no like tier 3 techs being taken here. Range calibration is coming out for A-Game. You love to see it. That's a very fun tech that I don't think people use really enough. Skims are pushing in here, but he has to watch out for the mortars. Okay, he's gonna dodge that. Mortar. I hate myself. Range calibration is finishing now. Here come the interceptors though onto the main base. There is a little bit of anti-air here, but not a huge amount. Yeah, still though, actually 2 interceptors gonna die for the cost of 1 salvager. That's not really so bad for Descara. And now that they've been used, he's gonna come out here with the gunships. He finds the sand skimmers. And the AEVs are actually getting up on the railguns too. This is really not ever supposed to happen. Descara has some railguns here too, so it's not like he doesn't even have ways to fight that fight. Range calibration is done. I mean, this guy could turn it on here for sure. A couple of skims being killed by the gunships now. But still, these guys are managing to maneuver pretty well here, and this carrier is actually pretty fast. Uh-oh, actually, that's a big deal. This carrier is getting up onto the main base. And Descara can't easily answer this. He doesn't want a base trade. That's gonna be bad times here. Oh, the really nice targeting jammers right there. Actually, that's really nice. Wow. Yeah, this main base is getting chunked here. This is what Galzian does best, you know. Railguns are here though, so A-Game has to make himself scarce now. Oh gosh, he's gotta be running like yesterday. Uh-oh. Maybe, I mean, if he kills off the missile battery, he can perhaps use his interceptors to fight. Oh, where's he going? Oh no. Oh no. Okay, here come the interceptors. Yeah, he realizes this is getting a little bit desperate. I feel like he could have just gotten away over here. I'm not sure where he's going now. This is a little bit of a trapped carrier, I would say. He needs to like power down the healing and put it all in speed to just try and run out of here, I think. Oh man. Descara's carrier's here too, although it doesn't have too much damage, but... Oh jeez. I don't know, that seemed like a bit of a throw. Yeah, especially because A-Game had done so much eco damage here. It seems like... Plus with, you know, I think he just had an artifact, like, go down. Oh, that was over here, okay. That wasn't close to the extraction, but still, he had, you know, 3 artifacts out, so... That definitely could have been a win for him there. But you're right, I said I wanted a big throw, so I can't exactly complain. Oh dear, that was questionable. Well, A-Game gonna be reeling after that. We're gonna jump into game 5 now. And that brings the scoreline 2-2, so the game is all tied up here. Looking like an ace match. Ace match. Ace match. You know we all want it. But getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, this is game 5. And it's gonna be on the Boneyard. A-Game gets the unfortunate spawn. You hate to see it. And looks like Base Runner is going to be retained here. This is odd, though. It looks very funny to see the Base Runner inside the carrier like that. Hold up, if I turn off Endlifts, like... Does this thing actually fit underneath it? No, not really. Anyway. I heard the Base Runner retire going out on this side. Stop hitting the deck. It kind of looks like it, but it stopped moving. I don't know. Still, though, you're right. Perhaps this was meant to be some kind of an aggressive build for Descara, but I see the probe out here, so probably this will be SC first once again. Yeah, it looks like he's definitely saving up the money for it. Well, no, because he got LAV fab. I don't know. Maybe this was actually just kind of a botched build here. He's even got the probe out, which is highly atypical for an AAV rush. You're right, A-Game didn't smoke. Oh, what a joke, man. This is a Soul Chip rush for A-Game, by the way. So we see 4 Salvagers here with the 5th being built just now. He has a Soul Chip fab on the queue pretty quick here. Actually, even a little bit faster than the AAVs for Descara. So it'll be interesting to see how these two builds mesh in the midfield here. Gonna come down probably to some tight unit control, so that's gonna be exciting to watch. We do have a production upgrade coming up for Descara, so he's again doing the 1 base production upgrade here. But if he sees the assault chips here, I wonder if he actually would want to cancel it instead. Because, you do want to get the armor upgrades when you're fighting armor versus armor. Probe is alive, though. It can kind of wrap around the backside and check out the carrier, which is, I'm sure, what Descara plans to do. And he wants to see what that tech is going to be from his opponent. AV tech is done. First one's on the queue, I imagine. But, very, very similar timings for A-Game here. Very similar timings, since they're going to come out almost at exactly the same time. We don't have Armor 1 yet for A-Game. He needs a bit more RU before he can get that set up. There's the tech. You see the AAV module, or the Assault Chip module right here. So, Descara will know the bit. Has an opportunity to cancel production upgrade, but it doesn't look like he wants to go that route. He's instead just going to hold on to double production here and build a bunch of AAVs. Not really sure where the carrier is going here either, though. Yeah, I think he wants to back it out just a bit, like stop it right there. What the heck? He's doing some kind of funny business here. It looks almost like he wants to build a support cruiser now, but production tab doesn't really say much. And ref mode is coming out for A-Game. Yeah, he doesn't really think that he can make this rush work. I agree. I mean, this is difficult to do. But this is a good follow-up because your opponent might end up overcommitting to the defense. And Descara really needs to get some damage done here. I don't like how these AVs are all rallying to the Sand Skimmers. You can just send one over there. But he's worried about the PC probably. However, the probe is gonna see it now. So at this point, I imagine, yeah, immediately he re-rallies down to the base there. So Descara knows what's up. He's gonna try and stop this from happening. This is a support cruiser, I think. And we'll see who manages to get the advantage from this. Still no armor 1 for either player here. I think that A-Game was building salvagers too, but I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, because he built these two. And he's only got 1 here now, right? So a couple of salvagers for A-Game. I think he built 1 there. And Descara with an interesting rally here on the salvager. There we go. He's going to start sending it over to that new base. Yeah. Yeah, it is tough. But 2 base is a little bit faster, so at least there's that going for you. But it's true that with no scouting, it's hard to say what the follow-up is going to be for Descara. And it looks like these are actually the first kind of scuffles over here, although Descara did lose a probe, mind you, but gonna kill off the LAV there, so that denies a little bit of scouting info. That second PC is on the way, but I think that Descara already saw the blinking light, so he probably knows. And in that case, he can decide what he wants to go for, but it looks like it's just gonna be 3 base for Descara as well, as he's got a support cruiser driving out over there. And yeah, I mean, if I'm Descara, I feel pretty good about this. He kind of knows that his 3 base timing is faster. And that his opponent can't really scout, but A-Game's army is still a little bit stronger on the field. It's not obvious that he can really get much done with that, though. Descara continuing to tech armor, by the way. He has this LAV out here to find the assault ship flank, too, so that's pretty good. Yep, there it is. He can just build a couple of AVs to answer this. I don't think this is going to be a big problem for Descara. Although he may lose this LAV. Looks like it will go down. And 3 base is just getting started for A-Game now. So very big lead for Descara here. He's been on 3 base for some time now. Not really being threatened there at all either. Just has to make sure he doesn't lose anything on the main base here, but he's driving the AVs over, and yeah, A-Game is going to back away, in fact. Armor 2 is done for Descara as well. I mean, he's got a lot of luxury money right here, so... Even getting the railgun tech started. And we'll see what the answer is for A-Game, but again, he doesn't even see this yet, so... Yeah, Descara is very greedy, but he's good at that, right? I mean, this is how he gets some big leads. And I'm not talking about a city in England. Skim over here is finally going to scout the railgun module opening up. That's actually pretty timely. So A-Game can find an answer for the railguns here. Looks like he's going to choose interceptor fabrication. And yeah, you're right. I mean, it's not so easy to... It's not so easy to go out there and scout because, you know, fog of war is dangerous, right? And with very little information of what Descara is really doing on the field, it's dangerous to move the assault ships in. But you feel like you've got to, right? So it's hard, you know. It's not exactly an easy game state to play. So it's funny, right? Like A-Game had an eco lead clearly because he got on 2 base faster, but it ends up translating into not much of anything because he has to play this kind of style, which ends up slowing down his 3 base. So. Assault ships here posturing on the 3rd base, but there are quite a lot of AAVs here, and they have the better upgrades too, but A-Game is going to try and rectify that. Note the base runner though, this is actually pretty dangerous, and A-Game has to always watch out whenever that base runner is around for the targeting jammers, so. But still, he's doing a good job of not letting his opponent attack on his 3rd base, because you know how it can be with this spawn on Boneyard. When you get attacked on the 3rd base, it feels really desperate. There's an extra salve here, by the way. It looks like the assault ships want to push in again. Yeah, there's the targeting jammer. Railguns are here too. Still though, A-Game has the interceptors, which is kind of the ace up his sleeve here. But missile battery tech is coming out for Descara, so I'm not sure if he saw them, but he seems to know what's up. And the assault chips are getting a little bit cornered here as well. It's armor 3 versus armor 3, but the health bar lead is even in Descara's favor here. And he's got the railguns in tow. Interceptors are here though, see what they can get done. So they are gonna start hitting this first railgun. Don't actually kill it though, which is kind of surprising. I guess interceptors have 3 packets. One railgun goes down. Descara definitely could have smoked that, but it doesn't look like he noticed. This whole flank collapse is here. Oh, what? Oh, what's going on this side though? Well, I mean, I feel like this push wasn't really gonna work. I kind of caught this a little too late though. That's my apologies. At least there's an attempt here, but the army for A-Game is starting to look really anemic now. He's got the interceptors, but that's kind of all he has going for him. Anti-air turret post getting set up on the extraction zone too. This is, of course, A-Game's extraction zone, but still a couple of assault chips being killed off here. A-Game really needs to get power 1, I think, but he's got bombers on the way, so we'll see what he's able to do with that. Well, salvagers are getting hit too, though. Assault chips are coming in. Looks like A-Game feels obliged to launch the bomber now. This is also pretty unfortunate. You want the bomber reveal to be quite a lot more impactful than this, than just killing a couple of AAVs, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? It's not easy to respond to that. Looks like he's gonna lose a couple of CUs here as well, which is too bad. And here comes that dreaded 3-base push as well. There is an extra salve here though, so A-Game can actually grab this idol and bring him back over. But yeah, this flank here is gonna be dangerous. A-Game does have another bomber to help respond, but you know, once your opponent can get solidified up on this hill, it feels really, really hard to play on Boneyard. But maybe it's always like this. Oh, I don't know about that. Like I said, these are kind of the best players in the world fighting right here, so looks like unfortunately this interceptor is not the best pilot in the world though. Bomber kills the railgun though, that's good. He wants to get this other one too. Don't these guys have some kind of weird name? Yeah, Sirocco. I don't know what that means. Probably something deeply symbolic in the desert. These salvagers probably want to be a little bit less excited to get back on the base there. Oh dear, yeah. Interceptor goes down too. LAVs are here to just kill off these salvagers. Oh gosh. Oh, yeah, they both go down. Ouch. Peanut bombers? Yes. That's the official name. You know, they didn't include it in the game, but actually, Rob confirmed that that's canon, that they're called peanut bombers. So, in case you didn't know. Couple railguns out for A-Game now, but again, it's tough when your opponent has this hill. Although, actually, I see that Descara doesn't really have any railguns in this area, but still, he manages to outnumber with the armored units, and he's gonna grab this hill again. It's really, really hard to see how you're gonna do anything about this. Artifact comes out for Descara. That's the second one, in fact. And this carrier doesn't have the mobility upgrade yet, but it's already looking pretty dangerous. Would love to see him power up that range too, because that'll help him hit the railguns from far away. And the bombers are feeling obligated to fight over here on this flank, which is really not where he needs them, but I mean, like, you know, there's an anti-air hit squad over here, so it's not clear what the bombers can do on this side. Yeah, A-Game doesn't like this. He's gonna choose to surrender. And I agree, this is just really hard to fight. You know, I feel like A-Game did really well, but I agree with his synopsis pretty well. His build in the beginning didn't really manage to get any damage done, and then he actually did really well fighting, but from like a behind position, and eventually Descara sort of choked him out, so that was well done. That was well done. And kind of exactly what A-Game predicted would happen on this flank did in the end, where he ends up getting run down, although to be fair, he played the game, so maybe he kind of knew that was going to happen. But still, it's dangerous when you've got the assault chips and you're trying to push into fog of war. You can't really like poke in very far, because if you get outnumbered there, you can't run away. So Well, it just goes to show whose short-term memory is better, huh? And that's going to take us to Game 6. As I have to refresh my replays tab here. There we go. Game 6. I'm excited for this. It's Galzian Territories 2, which, as you know, is a very, very aggressive map, potentially. I'm excited to see what A-Game goes for here. I'm feeling Rail Rush, man. I'm feeling it. Although I doubt he's actually going to go with that. But we'll see. We'll see. This is Descara's pick, of course, but when you get in a best of 7, you have to play all of the maps that didn't get banned. So at this point, the pick order starts to become a little bit less impactful. But the last map would be Shallows if it goes to an ace match. Right now, Descara leads the series 3-2. This is match point for him. And Sandskimmer Fab starting up for A-Game right here. 2 on RUs. Hey, this could be Rail Rush. This could be Rail Rush. And yeah, Shallow's ult too. Okay, let's keep our eye on it. Probe comes out for Descara here. Wants to check out what's going on the other side of the map. But no, LAV Fab, you really gotta oh yeah, it's already queued actually. This is SC first for Descara. Now, long distance mining is kind of like exceptionally valuable on Galzian territories because of how close the bases are. So I've always thought it was a good idea to go for long distance miners here, and that makes SC first a little bit less valuable than usual, but not valuable, I wouldn't say that. It's still definitely a serviceable build. Probe here hovering on the third base. He's trying to find a window to come up here and see... He's trying to find a window to come up here and see like if he can get some scouting info without getting shot at, but it looks like this PC is going to hit him. He sees the Sandskimmer though, so that's very, very relevant information for Descara. And he keeps the probe alive, so this guy can rotate around and then try and catch the timing to 2-base and the tech. And that, I suspect, is exactly what he will do. Sometimes players will try and shark around with the PC to kill off this probe, but it's not very easy to do. It's assault chips for A-Game. And in fact, he pulled off both of the RU miners to go mine CUs over here, and then he's rebuilt one RU miner, so his eco is going to be stronger this time than last time. Yeah, probes are just worthless, man. Coalition needs a buff. Hashtag Galzian OP. LAV Fab done for Descara. And he's going to bring this carrier back up here onto the top side, just to make sure he doesn't get pressured here too much. And you can see the Salvager is taking damage, so Descara's going to have to pull this guy off the line. But nothing too dangerous happening just yet. Question is, where are the assault jets? One's already out. Oh wow, okay. This is actually pretty good for A-Game. He's pulling up onto the second base. Now, Descara has seen, I suspect, with the probe what the tech was, so he's going to go for AV Fab as the answer. I actually really like going railguns here, but... yeah, you know, Descara is better than me, so... we're going to trust his judgment here. Fight with the Skims is going pretty well for A-Game here. He manages to get a 1-for-0 trade. ALM gets deployed there to help fight that side. Oh, and it's good, actually. The ALM manages to catch another Sandskimmer here. That's going to be actually pretty impactful for A-Game. This assault chip has to run, too. AV Fab is almost done, so the window is kind of closing here, but here comes the assault chip now. Ah, this ALM still being so annoying. This is actually a great deployment here. Assault chip is starting to hit it, though. Does A-Game have armor 1? No, he doesn't. Actually, Descara's carrier's taken some kind of significant damage there, but here come the AAVs now. But still, A-Game holding him off of 2-base there. For the time being, with A-Game long distance mining, this actually brings him in favor of eco, even though Descara had invested into it, but there's always a potential for that window to close, right? I think if I were A-Game, I'd want to... Oh, he's already got 2 on RUs, okay. Maybe, like, flip one of these guys onto RU mining, then so that you can get the armored unit upgrade, because I think that's going to be really impactful here. It's going to lose this flank clear, though, because the AVs do have high ground here. Still no armor 1 on Descara either, though. Uh-oh, some bad focus fire, too, is going to make this even a little bit worse than it could have been. 4 AVs on this side, though. And it looks like Descara's going to start setting up his 2-base again. And like I said, A-Game is ahead in economy until this 2-base gets solidified here. So here go the long-distance miners. The armor break is good though. Savant Carrier is pushing off this assault ship here. And Descara, no, he doesn't have armor 1. I guess they get that from, oh, that's damage, that's great. Ah. They get that from getting veterancy. Wow, the veterancy on these things is actually pretty good, I didn't realize. Ref mode coming out for A-game now. And he is going to kill that probe finally, but Descara knows the 2-base timing then. I'd love to see if we could count this pile to see like who's actually mined more off of it, but I have to imagine it's A-game. So it looks like Descara has the eco lead, but I'd say that A-game is actually ahead a little bit here. His army is bigger too, which can often have big ramifications for the timing on 3-base. And you can see that A-game is already queuing up that support cruiser too. Oh wow, that's a lot of damage. Flex tape can't fix that. Although it does work underwater. And I don't know, I mean this fight seems like it would go pretty well for A-game on paper. There's no smokes left either. Carrier's here for the armor break though. Oh man, actually this is a lot of damage being taken by Descara though. He's got that support cruiser out, but again, the army is bigger for A-game, and so this is going to force Descara to build more AVs to defend. And meanwhile, A-game has that PC out, so he's moving up on the 3-base now. Imagine meeting Phil Swift. Well, I've got to say, I'd be tempted to cut him in half and then see if Flex Tape could, you know, repair him. So maybe it wouldn't be good for him. And if I were A-game, I'd be looking at Siege Cruiser tech. Looks like he's going to go for railguns instead. But this eco lead is actually pretty significant here now. Again, I would love to check the pile here, but DOK replays are a little janky. But I've got to imagine that A-game is really ahead in the economy. Did I say it's? A-game isn't even a person anymore. I'd love to see him pick off this logistics module just because it's so low. Yeah, he is going to finish that one off there. Getting stunned here is a little bit unfortunate though. Would really like to see him back this guy away. Yep, he will. And the smoke comes out too late, so he picks off 2 ALMs there. Actually, that's a big deal because, like, 100% chance Descara is pop blocked right now. He's only got 1 logistics module. That's kind of the double-edged sword of using these things aggressively like he did in the early game, is that they can also be picked off a little bit easier. Here comes a railgun though. Oh, he really wants to not lose this though. Yeah, okay. He's not going to lose it. And that's actually a really big deal. That helps Descara hold this off a little bit better. But A-game's got the railgun tech too, and he's building heavies. This attack might not be over. Just gotta watch out, you know, for this... What the heck? Oh, okay. I thought this guy was going back to drop off over there. I was like, what's happening here? He has to watch out for this 3rd base, which is still a little bit vulnerable. And yeah, indeed, A-game is going to try and attack it. And this is often how you can attack someone who doesn't have enough army. Let's attack him on multiple flanks here. Magic Cell coming up for Descara. That's actually quite good. Now he kind of seems to sense that there's potentially a railgun fight going to happen here. One of the problems with going armor rail for Galzian is that you need to get the upgrades for them separately, whereas Coalition already has them. See, he's got armor 2 because he was teching for his AVs. Probe, by the way, is going to be able to scout this if he happens to... Yeah, he sees it now. Here comes the base runner with the targeting jammer. That's actually really nice. But another LAV getting fed in here. That's actually starting to stack up. I mean, that's a lot of LAVs that have died like that. What, you didn't play this on Jaramillo? What the heck? What is this? I feel betrayed, honestly. Railgun's in a nice position for Descara, but this is kind of the death hill. This is very difficult to push out over. And kind of an offensive ALM being deployed here, and I find it very offensive, to be frank. Also, note the EMP rounds are done for A-game. That can potentially be pretty impactful. But if Descara can get on this hill, I don't think he has any high ground. So it's really tough. You can't even fight the railguns with advantage. You just kind of fight them evenly, and the assault ships would be right on top of you. So This is not easy. Looks like that railgun fight is gonna commence though. This railgun gets hurt a little bit. It goes down to the railguns from A-Game. Carrier's really driving in through the middle here though, and it's kind of parting the Red Sea, as it were, of these two assault ships here. The way you say insanely skilled makes me think they're gonna be really dumb. A bit of self-deprecation goes a long way. A lot of assault ships getting hounded here, actually. This one's gonna escape though. I gotta say, I didn't have many hopes for Descara's carrier being able to actually push this out, but it worked out for him. There's a reason I call it the Death Hill, after all. Targeting jammer is available here for Descara. But he's got to bring these AVs over, and this is going to take him some time. He doesn't have armor 3 yet either, so... Well, these skims aren't upgraded, though, so... They're not going to be able to fight that, really. Here's the targeting jammer, a couple det packs, get some kills, too. He's going to drive up with those AVs and try and dislodge this. It looks like he will keep his base alive, but he loses one salvager on that side. With the base runner in tow, by the way, that actually makes it a bit easier to fight this railgun war here, because you can use the heal ability, which is actually really impactful. Actually, yeah, those are really good EMPs. He's got a third one, right? It doesn't really seem to work out too much. Well, I think with that third EMP, he might have been able to make that work and get some kills for it. It's gonna be some really dumb ones. Well, that's just how it goes sometimes. Railgun EMP isn't the easiest thing to use. Armor 3 done for Descara, by the way, so A-Game is gonna start teching this up also. There's a lot of heavy railguns. And, you know, railguns always stack pretty linearly, except, of course, when they have EMP. Really, really nice to have, because EMP can often be useful even with just one ability cast, and it's got a long cooldown. But when you get a bunch of railguns up together, it's a lot easier to always have one available, so... That's pretty good. Yeah, and there's an EMP right now. Seems to have missed entirely. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, those were not exactly the best. He managed to thread the needle and hit nothing. That was pretty impressive, I've gotta say. Oh gosh. Base runner's here though, and like I said, it can use that heal ability. Interesting smoke deployed actually on top of that railgun, but I'm not sure if that really helped Descara very much. That was just terrible. Second extraction is out though. Uh-oh, A-Game is queuing his PCs over to the front line. That's always a bit awkward. Here's a nice targeting jammer. Gonna stop the assault ship push here, but still a railgun goes down. ALM is gonna die too. The PCs are still coming forward. Oh, that's always horrible when that happens. Armored Units 3 coming out for A-Game now, so he wants to make his front line a little bit stronger. And I think that's a good call because he's winning the railgun fight already, so it's better to invest into these assault ships here. Notice how he kills the railguns first, then he deals with this. I think that's definitely the right order of things. And here's the PC to say hello. Realizes it's not supposed to be there and goes back. Actually, it's giving a guard order on this salvager. Because PC Master Race, everyone knows. Carrier mobility coming up for, well, never mind. He's gonna explode, actually. Well, I wonder if Descara would have done that if he saw the PCs out, but I think still his army was really, really anemic at that point. That's probably not a bad call. And you know what that means? Ace match. Ace match. Let's get into it. Game 7 of this best of 7. I promised you a good finals, and here we are. Here we are on Shallows. You gonna break the deck? No, I'm not gonna break it. I'm not that strong. I know I'm a pretty strong guy, but I'm not that strong, okay? And here we are on Game 7. We need to make an emote for this or something. Anyway, not that we'd be able to use it anyway, because Twitch only lets me have like one emote. Someday. You know, I'm not really sure, but I feel like Canyon has typically been a good map for you. I don't hate the choice to ban Canyon, honestly. Your ban was pretty good though, because Titan Passage is always going to be really, really nice for the Saban player. No, by the way, this is base runner retention here. We're gonna go for SC first, I assume, but I'm not gonna retire the base runner this time. There it is. And A-Game has similar ideas, although he is gonna retire. Drops the scanner right here. I actually like to put the scanner out on this side where it can scout the flank coming a little bit earlier. But to each their own. A gray potato. That's disgusting. What is that? It looks like Hugh Jackman. Depressito. And Sport Cruiser is gonna come out for Descara now. Oh. Well, I guess I don't know that good. Imagine being an RTS streamer and not streaming DOK. I mean, come on, like, what are you doing at that point? Probe comes out for Descara after the LAV fab is started. That's the correct order of things. Indeed. Well, see, the problem was, his villagers couldn't kill the deer. So, no wonder you were victorious. I shall abdicate. Ha! Get it? Spam 11 in chat if you know. Probe gonna check out A-Game's side, by the way. Actually, this is quite a float coming out here. I guess he wanted to get Railgun Fab. Oh, but he's canceled that now. I don't know. This is like a big float coming out for A-Game here. Here's the PC finally starting. Hey, Houston knows. Houston knows. 222. What is this? Company of Heroes? Come on. Get out of here. Get out of here. Sense-Cover rating actually starting for A-Game. This is very atypical. I'm not exactly sure what he's going for. He may just be reading that Descara doesn't have any tech here, but like if there were AVs, I feel like A-Game is kind of dead right now. I don't really know what he's going for. Probe scouts the PC, by the way, so A-Game knows what's happening, or Descara knows what's happening. Yeah, I haven't even looked at it yet. I've got to admit. PC is gonna come out. I'd like it if A-Game kind of rotated out to catch the... Wow, Descara has some amazing game sense here. So he's gonna keep this probe alive. How did he do that? Like, what the heck? What was that? I'm gonna call hacks, man. There's no way that was real. Railgun Fab is coming out now. And Descara almost finished with AV Fab here. He's got the production upgrade coming too, and the probe is back. This is unreal. I mean, oh my goodness. How did he do that? Oh my gosh. Anyway, Railgun Tech is done now. Descara hasn't seen the tech yet with the probe, but he seems to see everything, so I'm sure he'll catch that in a moment. Targeting Jammer just getting dropped here to buy a bit of time. There's only one LAV to defend though, but Descara has AV tech, so I imagine he's building one right now. Oh, he's not actually. I don't know what he's making then. Oh, that is an AV. What the heck? I guess on Saban the light is like over here. That's kind of confusing. Okay, well he's got an AV out. Descara has seen the signs. Yeah, it's true. They probed me. Yeah, that's just disturbing. No wonder it's all red in there. I've got to stop talking about this. Anyway, Railgun Fab is going to be the choice for Descara now. He did see the railguns from A-Game. And this probe again is just like a god. Like, what is happening here? How does he do this? Oh my gosh. I mean, this is just like some next level probe micro from Descara. I don't know what's happening here. Maybe I'm making too big of a deal out of this, but I'm telling you, this is like mad impressive. Artifact is picked up, by the way. He wants to go for the extract over here, but he's going to get the ping that the Sand Skimmers are on the way to the main, so here comes the probe to defend. ALM going to get deployed defensively here. Smoke comes out, but it doesn't actually catch the Sandstormer. I guess he figured he was going to be going for the support cruiser there. And he kills the scanner, just to reinforce the idea that Galzian is not as good as Coalition, apparently. I take some serious offense at this, but I can't lie. I see what's happening. Railgun tech is done for Descara, by the way, getting heavy vehicles armor too. I like this positioning for A-Game. It's very defensive, but it just wants to say, hey, I want to make sure I don't get attacked here. Because Descara's had such good vision control that you really want to make sure your opponent... Oh! Oh, the probe died! Didn't the probe die? Okay, nice. Well, I guess this base runner is what it took to get it done. Anyway, you know, Descara's had the vision control just so completely that you really want to have some good defense ready. Nagin's gonna come over here, see if he can catch this base runner on rotation. As it heads back to that third base. There's actually 2 targeting jammers available here. And there's smoke, so I mean, he can probably keep this alive if he wants to. Yep. Base runner will survive, the skims are just gonna back away. And it looks like on A-Game's side of the map, he will be able to get an extraction out. He's got this assault railgun to help fight the AVs. And Magixel comes out for Descara. So he's ready for the railgun fight, should it occur. And it looks like actually the players are kind of sizing each other up for it. He does have the armor already. So this is pretty good for Descara if a railgun fight erupts right now. He's got Magixel, he's got armor. And yes, another probe! Oh my gosh. And A-Game is going to start investing into the Sand Skimmer upgrades though. And I like that a lot, because if you've got this many skims and your opponent has armor 2 like this, possibly soon going to be armor 3, you know, you just do nothing to the railguns, and that's not really acceptable. You need to get the damage upgrades, so it's a good choice. Another attempt at an extraction here from Descara. Yeah, it does. It's very, very hard because you're holding your third and extracting at the same time, so stopping it is quite difficult. I think it makes the map a little bit better. But I'm certainly open to suggestions to fix it. Still don't think this is the best map in the roster for sure. Ooh. You know, I said the railgun fight was going to be pretty good for Descara, but it looks like A-Game is actually kind of getting the better hand of it just now. Still, the base runner goes down here, so he's not able to extract that second artifact. And I kind of like what A-Game is doing here is he's... oh, this heavy railgun went down. But he's keeping, like, the Sand Skimmers over here to be able to fast respond to the base runner and then trying to fight with the railguns on this side. Gets all of the railguns from Descara killed there. And yeah, I think Vanilla Shallows is really quite bad for competition, so I think this map is definitely better than that, but I feel like that's not really saying too much, so definitely if there's improvement that we can make, I want to do it, so. Looks like both players are just gonna kind of handshake on the exchange here. That's gonna bring the scoreline to 2-2. We still don't have any like late game tech here for A-Game, but Descara is gonna go for it. So he's got BC Fab on the queue here. I like it. Battle cruisers, of course, just like very resilient railguns, I suppose. It turns out they actually don't fight railguns terribly well because I think that railguns have more DPS than battlecruisers, but battlecruisers are a lot tankier. And so against this number of skims, I think it's actually a pretty wise choice. Supplements the railgun army pretty well. It doesn't answer the skims though, so Descara is still going to need to rely on some AVs. But I think that this is a really nice tech choice here. There are the extracts. Scoreline is 2-2 now, and it looks like Descara and A-Game are both going to look to pick up another one here. But Descara is fighting this. Doesn't want to let this go through. EMP rounds are done for the railguns, by the way. I kind of suspect that there isn't a huge amount of defense here against the skims, but looks like A-Game doesn't want to risk anything over there. And of course, the probe season too, so I mean, A-Game's aware that this could be answered by something that he's not aware of, so He's gonna back away, gets Missile Ship Fab on the tech as well. He hasn't been able to see the carrier for a while now. Phoenix is having a stroke over there. Anyway, he hasn't been able to see the carrier for a while, so air is a real threat here, but not only that, he really wants to get rid of these probes, so... these assault railguns need to be careful too, though, because, again, the probe sees them, so for sure Descara could have a response to this. Looks like he's going to send 2 railguns over. Not overcommitting, though, and I like that. Just a little bit of a perspective flank here by A-Game. But, you know, even with just the targeting jammers, I think that these AVs can kill these guys off. Skin's going to be seen. They're going to start taking a bit of damage. This is actually a nice time to turn on Mark Target, by the way, I think, because it increases your accuracy, but I can't exactly recall. It might be that railguns had 100% accuracy in this patch as well, so not exactly sure. But yeah, the assault railguns are going to get warded off. Skims are getting up on top of the railguns, though. Are the ALM's power? They are. So that's going to be some nice disruption here. Here's the smoke as well. But the railguns for A-Game are pushing in too. Uh-oh, suddenly this looks pretty bad. And again, the Skims are going to take quite a lot of damage on the back end here, but they've got damage too, so they're going to kill off this railgun as well. Even with the armor 3, they're managing to do quite a lot of damage. He sees there's no air, by the way, so A-Game might choose not to build many missile ships here, but I wonder... Oh, okay, there's the first BC, so I think he sees this. And that is going to net him a kill on a railgun here, possibly more than that. I like this ALM positioning here. For once, I'm actually kind of a fan of the ALM spamming, because it's going to get him 2 railguns out there. Extraction comes out for Descara, but here's 2 for A-Game, so whatever you can do, I can do better, he says. Here comes the AVs up to the main base. They're going to try and smoke off the salvagers here. Again, first though, he prioritizes the SC, so one salvager is going to fall. Fighter and gunship tech being floated by Descara, but he's going to cancel that, goes for Systems 2 instead. Here's the double extract for A-Game. And that is going to be game point on the extractions, but Descara looks to even up that scoreline too as he picks up one of his own. And I suspect that this is going to come down to some climactic fight around the artifact points here, because if it comes down to the extraction zone, I think it's a little bit too risky. Probe sees the assault railguns here. He needs to mobilize this guy to get the targeting jammer ready. Systems 2 is teching for Descara now. This is gonna be a tense yeah, this is gonna be a very tense finish, I think. I've gotta say, I feel like A-Game is in the lead here for having his artifacts at 4. And he's getting range calibration too. Although I would love to see Railgun Armor 3, but I don't think it really has much of an impact against BCs, so I'm not really super in the know with the breakpoints though, so that might not be true. Middle artifact is about to spawn. It looks like A-Game can pick this up if he wants to. I imagine he's waiting because he's not sure if this is safe, but I mean, you really don't want Descara to have this. I think that just picking this up would be good, even if you lose the base runner. Assault railguns are in a nice kind of position here on the high ground, by the way, but they don't have the range. So if you could get like 1 heavy railgun over here and turn on range calibration, that would be huge. Oh, but this is pretty huge too. There's another targeting jammer available, is there not? Yeah, there is. Oh, he really wants to deploy this. There it is, but it's a little bit late. AVs are getting up here too. This actually looks like it might not be very good for A-Game, because all these Skims are going to die here. Railguns are fighting on this side though, and he does have EMP, and he has a lot of railguns. This is an insane number, actually. Yeah, smoke being deployed by Descara immediately, but that's not really going to help him out too much here, is it? Yeah. This is kind of ridiculous on both sides, actually. It's like, because on this side, the Skims just get totally stunned up, and then they can't do anything. On this side, you know, the railguns just get bombed by EMP, and the battlecruiser can't do anything. I like it, though. It's this very, like, deny-heavy style here, but Descara's got to go all in on this, because if these 2 base runners extract, I mean, that's game over. Meanwhile, Descara can grab an artifact of his own and try and make sort of a Hail Mary push over here, but I think all the eggs are in one basket here for both players. It's all about this flank right here, and Descara has to kill both of these. I don't know why he's not mobilizing his carrier and this BC. He might just be kind of accepting his demise here. I mean, there's no way he wins the fight, so he's got to go over here, but Oh, was that it? He thought, yeah, but no, once you get to 5, you win, so. That is, that is unfortunately quite anticlimactic. So I guess he wants to just, like, turtle up here then, right? But... yeah, if you weren't aware of the way that it works, when the timer runs out, whoever has more artifacts wins. But if somebody has more artifacts than someone else, and that person is carrying an artifact, then it doesn't count that way, so... but when the scoreline reaches 5, you just lose. So that's unfortunate for Descara. But AGame is going to take it after a really interesting game number 5 here. Or 7, that is. And hey man, I'm happy if it goes to an ace match. That was a 6 series. Yeah, he's not even holding... yeah, that's true, because I mean, if you picked up the 5th, and then you picked up the 6th, yeah, like, if that's how the rule worked, you would still have won there. That's weird, the health bar's turned off. But that was a really cool series, and it looks like AGameAnx is going to be the winner of Jaraci Cup number 12, so that's really cool. Probably the last tournament of this year. I'm thinking that'll start JC13 before the holidays, but I'm gonna extend the group stage pretty wide because I expect that people are not really gonna play the group stage games during Christmas and New Year's. So, but I'll let you know. That'll be on tournament announcements. Thanks for watching, guys. This was a really cool series, and like I said, I'm always happy to see it go to an ace match. And joke patch tournament, that's gonna happen. I'm telling you. In fact, you know what? We're going to cast some games that Phoenixio sent in, and then after that, maybe I'll do some work on Joke Patch. Give it some love. But yeah, thanks for watching.